Everybody, I want to do a Giants video today. The Giants had a crushing loss where they had a 19-point lead with 6 minutes to go, and they blew it because of the defense. The offense did pretty darn good in this game. I'm gonna be honest. And from what I heard, I didn't notice this while watching the game because I was so nervous I wasn't paying attention or whatever. But on a lot of the drives to the end of the game, especially the last one, where we had the lead, with like 20 minutes to go or so, 20 seconds to go or so, 20 seconds to go, and our defensive coordinator has three defensive ends blocking the quarterback, and the rest are all secondary guys. I'm sorry, that lost us the game. Our defensive coordinator lost us the game. I mean, you could say if our kicker would have not missed 2 extra points, the field goal doesn't win it because we're up by 2 more points. And we're up by, what would that be, 4 altogether? So the 3 points wouldn't have tied it up. So we would have won the game. Okay, that being said, I agree. And I would cut the kicker. And we got this guy used to play for Atlanta. I forget his name. He's like Asian. His name is like Koo or something. I think that's his name. I don't know. I could be making this up. But I would call him up from the practice squad ASAP. I don't know whether we're not hearing anything about this. I hope we hear about this maybe tomorrow when they start putting out players and stuff, who's going to be on the roster and whatnot. So that's one thing. But that's not what lost us the game. And Jackson Dart threw an interception that brought them to within 3 points when they got the touchdown because it was on their end of the field. Denver was a beatable team. They were. Our offense kicked their ass. Our defense kicked their ass most of the game. It wasn't until the last 6 minutes where we really blew it. We really just... That was a monumental collapse. I can't be 100% sure of this. Stat Geeks, if you're watching, put something in the comment section. Was that like the worst loss or comeback from any team that the Giants had ever lost by a comeback like that? It had to be like the worst, I think. There might have been one in the playoffs, I think, against Minnesota. Back when Kerry Collins was the quarterback, that might have been worse. But this was really freaking bad. I was like screaming. I was going nuts. I don't think my mom wants to be around me when I'm watching the game next week. Although I've kind of made a thing where, like, if we're getting blown out by the Eagles and it's apparent we're going to lose, I'm just turning it off and looking at the score later. I'm not going to stick around to watch a blowout. If we look good, I'm not going to get too excited because we know we can blow games. We did it like in 2 major games this year. We did it in the Dallas game in Dallas. We did it in the Denver game in Denver. So I'm putting the onus on the defensive coordinator. You got to beef up that line. You got to put all your guys out there. Why are they on the sidelines? Why is Abdul Carter on the sidelines? Why is Sexy Dexy on the sidelines? Why aren't they in the game? They should be in the game. They had a long layoff when the other team was driving. Put them in the game. They need to be in the game. There's no excuses for this. On that last drive, they should have all been in the game. And if I were the Giants, and they're not doing it. They're not firing Bowen, Shane Bowen, the defensive coordinator. If I am the Giants, I am firing Shane Bowen. I think if this is a decision that they solely gave to the coach, and this team goes down with the defensive coordinator, I say fire Dable at the end of the year, and I say fire Bowen, both, and the GM too for letting them make this decision. I would have stepped in and said, "Look, you're firing this guy. If you don't, it's your freaking job." Okay. He's like got to be one of the worst defensive coordinators in football. Got to be one of the worst. And I feel like it could have been won. We could have won this. We had a 19-point lead with 6 minutes to go. How do you blow that? I'm sorry. I was so pissed off yesterday. I had a really bad day, and like I was coming up with excuse after excuse for why it was. You know, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I can't do it. You know, because of money or whatever, or because I just can't get out. You know, and do what I want to do. And I was coming up with excuse after excuse for why my day was bad. My day was bad because I had just watched a shit show of a end of a game. The Giants crapped the freaking bed. Sorry if there are any parents out there listening. I'm so sorry. Pardon the French. But this game had to be one of the worst Giants games. I'll say one of the worst, because I see some bad ones. One of the worst Giants games I've ever seen as a Giants fan. Okay, barring that playoff game against Minnesota. That was bad too, because that was, but for a regular season game, this had to be the worst. I still remember, and I didn't watch it. I didn't have NFL ticket or anything, an old Sunday ticket, but when, I don't know, there were like seconds left of the clock and T.O. ran it back for a touchdown for the Eagles. I was at that day. I was in D.C. at the, I forget what art museum it is. It's the one right next to the what is now called the what is that art museum right near the Capital One Center? Is it the American Art Museum? They had an exhibit. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful day. It was a great day, and it was all of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas's Norman Rockwell paintings and pieces that they had all in a big exhibit. And you could tell, like, each one, you were like, oh, this is Spielberg, oh, this is Lucas. You could tell, you know. The more whimsical fantasy ones, I always said this is Lucas. The more, you know, not so whimsical ones were Spielberg. But anyway, and then we're on the way home on the train, and we hear these people talking about the game and the ending, and I'm like, oh no, I wanted to go home and like check the score, you know. I guess I was devastated hearing this on the train. People joking about the Giants loss and how it went down. I was thinking about wearing my Giants hat that day. I am so glad I didn't. I would have been so embarrassed on the train. I mean, I'm not embarrassed to be a Giants fan, don't get me wrong. But that's like the D.C. area. Oh, man, they're all like Redskins fans there and stuff. Oh, it would have been bad. So we're riding on the train home, and we were going to, I forget the name of the steakhouse. Not Longhorn. I forget the name of the steakhouse, but they had all closed down. They filed for chapter, what is it? They filed for bankruptcy, basically, and they're not around anymore. I forget the name of the place, but we used to really, really like it, and it had like a kind of North Canadian kind of feel to it. If it was your birthday, they put a big moose head on your head. If there's anyone who's watching that knows of this place with the moose head for your birthday, let me know what it was called. My family really enjoyed it, but I had a good steak that night and a good day at the museum. But man, that Giants loss, and being that I didn't watch it, I can't rate that higher than the this loss. And also the next year, that was 2010. 2011, the Giants won the Super Bowl. There's Eli's second Super Bowl, and the Giants' fourth overall. So, I mean, as bad as that was, we won the freaking Super Bowl the next year. We did what we had to do to fix the team, and we won. So, yeah, that was just, it left a really poor taste in my mouth, and, which, I'm just thinking about it. I gotta take a drink here. So anyway, yeah, that was pitiful. That was pitiful, and I will watch the game this weekend. I found an app that'll work for me, and I'll watch it. And if I don't watch it, I'll listen to it. But I almost feel like the season's over. I think a lot of Giants fans. I don't know if I want to like start talking like draft picks and stuff yet. I mean, we'll see how this Sunday goes. I think if we lose, we're talking draft picks. I don't know. Would they fire Dable and Shane mid-season if we lose against the Eagles, like terribly? Or if we have another game where we're like on top and blow it? Would they fire these guys? Does everybody this clean house in season? I think I would. I'd be tempted. I'd at least be tempted right now. Not even tempted. I would have fired Shane Bowen. That's a disgrace. That is a freaking disgrace. If we would have won that game, we'd be 3-4. One game below 500. With a chance in the division if we won some crucial games down the stretch. And if we didn't make the playoffs, we would be a bubble team to make the playoffs. Because the NFC East and NFC as a whole ain't even that good. It's winnable. I still think if they went on a run, they could do something, which is why I'm not giving up. But it is just so disappointing. And I just, man, my dad was like, hey, why don't we put on the night game? I'm like, oh, man, really? And I went to bed early. And my dad watched it. I was like, I don't care. And then last night he wanted to watch Monday Night Football, and we started watching on the antenna. It comes in good on there. I'll tell you, that's a good antenna. It's a GE antenna that I got for like $11 with my Amazon Prime account, which I don't have anymore actually. But and then I'm like, oh, why don't we'll put it on Sling. I got Sling. So first I checked out the baseball game. Then I got the football game. I wanted to see how the football game was going. And all of a sudden the TV goes out, and we're freaking out. We're like, what's going on here? So I kind of kept it level-headed a little bit. Wait a minute. Let me go investigate. So I went on Twitter, and I found out that like it was a countrywide outage. Like most people were out of Sling. So it lasted all the way till about 11 o'clock, and then stations started to slowly come back and feed their way back. And I was like less interested in watching football at this point, or baseball, although I did watch a little bit of the Toronto celebration, which I thought was ridiculous. It was like a Vegas with a strobe light and smoke and stuff. Maybe, I don't know, wait till you win the World Series to do that, because you're probably going to have to face, I don't know, did the Dodgers win yet? You're probably going to have to face the Dodgers, and, if you lose to the Dodgers, that celebration you had, that Vegas-style celebration, is going to look really, really piss poor when you go back and look at that. So, just saying. But then I really wanted to watch MSNBC, and so I did, and then I went to bed and found out that the dog had peed all over my bed. What a night, what a day. I had a bad day because I was in a bad mood all day. And then I'm like shaving and doing all this stuff, getting ready for bed, and I'm ready to jump into bed, just relax and just jump into bed, and my dog peed all over my bed. And I don't have too many backup. And then I had my backup comforter like in the bed that she peed on as well. So it was a bad night. And then she peed on my silk pillow. She peed on the silk pillow, and it was bad. It was a bad situation altogether. The whole day, Sunday, Monday. Today's been a little bit better. I've been tired watching a lot of ASMR, but it's a little better today. But I am just now looking forward to Sunday. It's turning into that, you know, Giants fans. So you understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, when you know the season's not going good, and you're like, oh, another Sunday, another game. Are we gonna win it? Probably not. Anyway, that's gonna be it, guys. I am going to leave you with this. Just remember, when our teams got us down, when our teams crap the bed, there are bigger things in life, like what's going on in the world politically. And for me, even bigger, how about Star Wars, Marvel, movies? That's what's really important in life. That's what cheers me up when sports doesn't. So anyway, stay safe, everyone. God bless. May the Force be with you.